We will see. Hey, let's switch gears for a second. That's something that I would like to talk to you about, and maybe we can also contribute to it a little. Like you probably heard that Ydwer van der Heide had this terrible accident. Did you know him personally?
I didn't know, but I mean, I know
Or do
plenty.
you know him personally? Sorry about
No,
that.
no, no.
My
I actually don't. I know plenty of people who know him very well. I had thought about getting Eva on the podcast, but never really got around to it. It was a name I had on my list. But I know plenty. I mean, Ozzy and I spoke about it last week on. We had a podcast. I don't know if you heard the Oswald Smith podcast. He's a very, very good friend of Eva. We spoke after about the situation. I
yeah.
spoke to Alex Vlieger about it the other day. Yeah, it's an incredibly unlucky thing to have happen, man. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
a freak accident, really.
I mean, if somebody doesn't know him, could you just briefly
Yeah.
introduce
So
him?
so Ydwer van der Heide, I mean, if you're in kite surfing or anything like that, 100% you would have seen his photography. He is probably, if not the most well known kite surfing photographer, he's up there for sure. Uh, very 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 well known for pushing the riders hard. He did a lot of work for Mystic. He did a lot of work with Airrush, and he worked with all the big brands. But he was a guy who worked very hard, very passionate his brand, and was known as the market leader when it came to photography. Um, he had an accident on a foil, hit the bottom. He got thrown into the water and broke his C6 vertebrae in his neck. He has been in hospital for the last month. Um, they are very, very optimistic he will recover, but still he remains in a critical condition. I don't
Yeah.
want to say too much because there's a big campaign going around from at the moment. But Eva is the people who know Eva say that look, this guy would stay in the cold water for hours and hours and hours, driving the riders to get the shot. If that's not a testament to his drive and determination to recover from this, I don't know what else is. So the people are very optimistic that he will make a full recovery. And I think for all of us, we're being positive, right? Where everyone's trying to be positive about
Yeah.
the situation. Um, there's been a big campaign going around as of today, which was as in the first week of March for Ydwer. It's a fundraiser, a GoFundMe, and they're collecting a lot of money already. He's just a very, very likable guy, and with the kind of person you never heard a bad word about.
hmm Yeah, I also want to put the fundraiser in the show notes. I hope that we get this episode out before it's too late. I contributed today. I didn't know him personally, but I really feel like for the guy and for the family, for his girlfriend and for his family. I mean, that's an accident basically that could have happened to everybody. He, as far as I
Mm,
know, he he was surf foiling. I mean, could have been also
Sapphire.
surfing or whatever, as far as I understood the accident.
It's
And he
actually it
basically,
is actually it is actually a common injury in surfing and bodyboarding actually, where they get thrown into shallow water and
yeah,
hit their head on the bottom.
yeah,
It is a fairly, I'm not saying a fairly common injury, but it's not unheard of in those sports. So yeah, it's such a crazy thing to happen to a person who's normally taking photos of guys doing crazy things, if that makes sense. He's normally the
hmm
one taking these amazing photos of guys pushing the boundaries, yet here he is just having some fun and going for a surf and ending up in hospital.
yeah. Did you ever have a serious situation in water sports?
Me personally,
Yeah,
um, serious situation. Serious situation.
doesn't have to be an accident, but maybe it was a
No,
close call or something like that.
I have a funny story. I was not me personally, no, but I remember being on the beach, and the wind sort of died, and it was quite a rough day, and I could
hmm
see my friend's kite fell from the sky, but it
hmm
was quite rough, and I just saw this like flashing of this sort of board flashing in the air, going up and down like this, and I thought, what's going on there? Is he okay? Maybe he's tangled in the lines? Is he signaling for help? Or I didn't know. So I thought, I couldn't get my kite in the air, so I just sort of stripped off. And we live in Dubai; it's it's warm all the time, and I thought, I'll start swimming out. But
Hmm.
I guess it was like 500 meters. But after about 200 meters into the swim, man, I was just, whether it was the adrenaline or the dumping, but my shoulders were so sore. I couldn't swim. I was so tired. I had to go onto my back and like do like the recovery stroke to keep on
Hmm.
going. But finally, I mean, I'm obviously you can hear that I'm laughing in the story, so it's a happy ending. But by the time I got to my friend, he was sitting on his kite, and he was using the his board as a paddle. So I could
Hmm.
see him. I could see the paddle going as he was paddling. But by the time I got to him, I was the one who needed saving because I was so tired. And so he basically dragged me onto the kite. He said, "Are you okay?" I just like I could barely talk. I said, "Here, I'm come to save you," and he just laughed. I ended up needing to be saved myself. But have I been in a situation? No, I mean, if you're in the sport long enough, you see everything, right? The broken lines and people losing boards and getting stuck. But I'm lucky that I'm riding with people. I don't generally ride around beginners. Beginners are not sort of they don't ride in the spots I like to ride. So I'm not really putting myself in positions where I have to help anybody, or I will if I see it, but it's not really
Hmm.
not really been in my wheelhouse.